Yes, we are here with the CEO of Team Keep It Clean, Mr. Ingraven. My friend, this has been long overdue. Long
Oh yeah.
overdue. We've been meaning to have you on for a while, but we're lazy. We're bad at inviting people on. But
Oh, that's right. I'm the same way. I'm even worse than
hey,
y'all.
we appreciate you having on, man. A lot going on with this Raven season. Whew, a lot to discuss.
Yeah.
Let's get your thoughts on it first. How you feel about what has transpired up until this point, and how you feel about this upcoming game.
I think the biggest word that I could probably use would be surprised. That the Baltimore Ravens are even still in a position to where they could possibly even make the playoffs, win their division. That shows you a couple of things. One, the Ravens have been a resilient team, but at the same time, this division has just been really bad. The Bengals, obviously, they didn't have Joe Burrow for the longest, and then he came back in his first game back. He whooped up on the Ravens. The Browns, they've continued to be the Browns, and the Steelers have been the same team that they've always been, where they start off hot and everybody like, oh, Steelers, but then they start going on a downward slope and just start falling off and unraveling. But the Baltimore Ravens, they have been the same team that they've been for a long time too, to where they have just been underachieving. They've had the talent. They got the roster. There are some areas where it could still be a lot better, especially offensive line. But it's like, all right, if you were going to stick to, and I don't want to jump ahead too much, but with their roster, my concern and my surprise has been how they've handled it. Because there's been significant issues on the roster, mainly with the offensive line, that have negatively impacted the quarterback a lot. It's negatively impacted the running backs a lot of the times too, but mainly the quarterback with Lamar Jackson. Literally from week one, the man has been getting beat up over and over. Week one, he took one of the nastiest hit, probably the worst hit that I ever seen him take since he's been in the league, from Ed Oliver. And then in week two, we faced Myles Garrett again. He was getting beat up a little bit then, but they did their thing in that game. But then week three, he was pressured 42 times and sacked 7 times. And I'm like, what? I didn't even know somebody could be pressured 42 times. It was crazy. And then in week four was the Chiefs game. And that's when before that game and weeks before that game, I remember saying that people will be asking, like, what's it going to take for them to make a change on the offensive line? And I said, at this point, I don't know. Because we kept seeing the same issues from the same people on the offensive line, mainly both guards just struggling. The whole offensive line had its struggles for sure, but the worst parts of it were the guards. And people would ask, what's it going to take to make a change? And I'm like, I don't know, because Lamar's been getting hit like crazy. And I know if we see it, the coaches got to see it too. So I would hope that it wouldn't come to him getting hurt. What happened in week 4? Lamar Jackson literally got hurt because of the offensive line. So he's out. You lose your star quarterback. And the person that's supposed to be your franchise quarterback, who you're supposed to care about, you've invested in him financially. Now around him, you should still be investing in him even more. But that didn't even force the Ravens to make a change at the offensive line. And it was just like, oh my goodness, if that's not going to force a change, then I don't know what will. So they obviously stuck with their guns. They doubled down on it. And Harbaugh continued to say, hey, that's the best 5. We put the best 5 out there. I thought the offensive line played good. He continued to say that week after week. Yeah. But then it's like, all right, if you're going to stick with those guys as your offensive line, then how about you change up the scheme to try to help them as best as you possibly can? And there was even one week, I forgot which game it was, that Lamar even called it. I said, all of our plays are long development plays. The receivers got to get downfield. And when he said that, I said, oh, okay, Lamar. All right, now he's saying something now. But yeah, it just seems like there is with this team, there's a lot of internal conflicts with them that are showing themselves on Sundays, in some cases Saturdays, Thursdays, Mondays, whenever they play. There was a little back and forth, it seemed, between Lamar and John Harbaugh. I remember when Lamar first started missing the Wednesday practices, and John Harbaugh was asked about it. He said, I don't know. Well, we got to see how Lamar does. And then Lamar was asked about it. He said, hey, this might be an every week thing for me. And then I said, oh, all right, now Lamar. Okay, that's what we doing then, huh? But it seemed like it just seems like there's a bit of a rift because John Harbaugh will say one thing, And then with Lamar, it'll be something completely different. And I think the worst part about that we saw was when, and I know I'm all over the place, but that's exactly how
No,
this Ravens season been. It's been all over the place.
facts, facts.
I think the worst that we saw this season was, I forgot what game it was, but they were like, "Oh, Lamar Jackson, I think they said he was a full participant." But then they said, "Oh no, he wasn't a participant." The whole little practice squad thing
That was the Rams game. I think
was it?
that might be either that had. I think that was the Rams game because he was out for Texans, Rams, and then the Bears.
Yes,
So
too.
it was one of those three. I want to say it was he. We knew he was going to be out for the Texans. I think they were saying he had a chance to play for the Rams, and then he didn't play. Yeah,
But
it was a full participant, and then he was out.
yeah, that whole fiasco, it's just been a mess, man. It really has been. And then of course, recently with the whole the hit piece on Lamar Jackson, the how at first when I first read it and heard about it, I'm like, why are we doing this again? But then I thought, oh, it's contract time. It's contract time. That $75 million cap hit, it got to be addressed. So this is exactly what happened last time it was contract time for Lamar Jackson too, because before it was contract time, you always heard so much good stuff about Lamar. Oh man, he's such a great teammate. He's so nice to everybody in the building. Oh, everybody loves him. He's such a great person. But then when it's contract time, you start hearing all these stories. Oh, Lamar Jackson. Hey, I heard you don't like working out. Oh, Lamar Jackson. Oh, he was he talked about his diet and staying up late playing video game. And it's like, where was all this before? Even just last year. If this was an issue, where was all this talk even just last year? This man just threw 41 touchdowns and 4 interceptions, ran for over 900 yards. We ain't hear about none of that stuff. But now this year, when he's getting beat up, you hear about everything. But again, just like my mind is, that's what the Ravens do to me. My mind is a mess. This Ravens season has been a mess. That's why I've been just so surprised that they even in the thick of things still to this point.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like it's shocking how bad this division is, and we still have a chance. Like as bad as we've played, as bad as we've played, we can still look at this and say, if we play our best football moving forward, we can make a run, right? Because all of our losses have been self-inflicted. You know, you can look at all the games, except maybe like the Texans one, and Lamar didn't play that one. But even the Rams game without Lamar, we had a shot to win that game. You know, we shot ourselves in the foot, and you can look at the whole season and say, if we just don't beat ourselves, we can win. You know, so looking at this last game against the Packers and seeing how Tyler Huntley played, you know, we look at it and say, man, like, why haven't we been calling the games like this beforehand? Especially when we know Lamar isn't 100%. Especially when you know Derrick Henry does his best work in the second half of games. Why then do you decide to not give him the ball, and we want to air it out and we want to spread the ball around? Like, that's not our game. And I heard somebody say it, I can't remember. It might have been you. I've been watching a lot of Ravens YouTubers, right? You might have said it, or I can't remember. Hendo said it, but it seems like when Lamar Jackson is in the game, they run the offense that they want to play, and when Tyler Huntley's in the game, they run the offense that they know they can run, right? Like,
yeah. That was somebody that I saw. I had mentioned that on a video because somebody I've seen on Twitter has said that. They said for Lamar, they run the offense that they want to run, but with Tyler Huntley, they run the offense that they should run with the players that they have. And it just makes so much sense, and it's just it's frustrating. But go ahead.
Yeah. No, just you know, you mentioned the media and you know, some of the things that they play. You're from this area, you know. I grew up in this area. That, you know, the guys you mentioned, like that's something he's done for decades, and just and this precedes Lamar Jackson, right? Like they hit pieces on Ray Lewis. They did the same thing, Ed Reed, and it's always around contract time. Because if you go back and read the old articles, it was about, you know, Ray Lewis not living up to his contract. Even though after that, you know, in that article, he suggested that, you know, maybe move on from Ray Lewis and side with the coach Brian Billick at the time. Um, he played for 6 more years after that, and he had multiple All Pro and Pro Bowl bids, and of course, finished his career with the Super Bowl, right? But I feel like this organization likes to use the media to downplay some of their players when they don't want to pay them or they want the players to take a pay cut. And they used it multiple times this year, and they used it even with their coaches. I feel like those two articles that came out from the Baltimore Banner and the Baltimore Sun, hit pieces on Todd Monken. I think that was a complete joke. That was a complete joke. So I really didn't appreciate that. For as bad as the defense has been playing, and those articles that speak so well about Zach Orr, and I like Zach Orr, you're insulting our intelligence. Like we see what's going on out there, and the problem is not Todd Monken. You know what I mean?
No, that's real right there, man. Those, oh yeah, that was it's been a crazy year, man. And those were exactly what you called it. They were hit pieces, man. They really ripped Todd Monken apart. They said, players were saying that he don't put them in positions to have success. He don't have the best relationship with players. But yeah, they continue to big up John Harbaugh and Zach Orr. And we know this defense, not only this year, but last year too, they continue to just get off to these historically bad starts, like historically bad, not just bad, but historically bad. And then once the competition sort of lightens up, then the defense started looking better. Well, hold up, man, we got something. Then they had some good games too here and there too, but the defense just this year it just hasn't been good. But yeah, those are definitely hit pieces on Todd Monken, and they didn't make any sense at all. But go ahead.
That kind of thing, though, most organizations will engage in that. They'll use the media to help them in negotiations and everything. But the difference in Baltimore is they're doing it with their quarterback, which you don't see other organizations do. When other organizations have their franchise quarterback, you don't even hear about contract negotiations. You just hear about the signing, right? It just gets done because they don't want to mess around with the most important player in the game, the face of the franchise and everything. But in Baltimore, I said a couple of weeks ago, I really believe that their front office, their coaching staff, they don't believe in talent. They believe in the scheme. They believe in the coaches. They believe that they're more important than the guys on the field. So they don't want Lamar back, but they're not seeing Lamar as the kind of savior of that coaching staff that he's been, right? Like they were on their way out in 2018 when Lamar came in and saved Harbaugh's job. And fast forward all these years, and John's back to thinking, hey, it's me. I'm the one driving this ship. And if Lamar wants to continue to be here, hey, maybe we get a little discount on that. And if he fights it, then Tyler Huntley can do everything Lamar does, right? That's what he said when Tyler came in. He does all the things Lamar does, and I heard that and I said, well, he doesn't win games. He doesn't go to the Pro Bowl. Well, I mean, except for the one time, right? He doesn't win MVP. He doesn't win any play. He doesn't do many of the things that Lamar does for you. But this organization, they don't like to pay players who are worth more. That's why the one guy in Baltimore who's been able to get their contract done with no fuss is Rashad Bateman, right? He's got 2 extensions. Because he comes in there and says, yeah, guys, I'm not worth it. And they're like, agreed. Go ahead and sign right there. But yeah, it's a bad situation over there. The worst thing about those hit pieces you're talking about on Todd Monken is at the time they came out, they were one of the top offenses in the league. Like it didn't even make any sense. They weren't struggling at that point. Now afterwards, they started to have some struggles. But when those came out, they were scoring 30 a game. Like it's nonsense. Like you said, they're insulting the Ravens fans' intelligence when they do this kind of stuff. I remember Ryan Mink coming out talking about Lamar ain't no Dak. No, he's not. That's why you need to pay him. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah. No, it doesn't. And you bringing up 2018, yeah, that brought up memories because that's when the article came. Oh yeah, the Ravens and John Harbaugh, they mutually gonna part ways after this season. So it's like, oh man, we're getting ready to move on from Harbaugh. Who's it gonna be? But then of course, insert Lamar and John Harbaugh. He's back. Get a contract extension. All he obviously stayed. But then you fast forward to this year, and a lot of people pointed out during that Packers game that John Harbaugh had a play sheet in his hand. John Harbaugh don't never have play sheets in his hand. We may be able to count on one hand how many times we done seen John Harbaugh with a play sheet in his hand. So a lot of people was assuming that he was calling the plays. And what you bring out also about Tyler Huntley, how not even just Harbaugh, but just a lot of people, especially after that Packers game, a lot of people have written off Lamar Jackson. I seen Shannon Sharp talk. Oh no, the Ravens, they need, even if Lamar's back, they need to start Tyler Huntley, because Tyler Huntley, he gives you a better chance to win than Lamar Jackson. And when I'm be seeing that, I'm like, what? Like, shout out to Tyler Huntley. He's cool people, man. But he's not Lamar Jackson. But with Harbaugh, it's wise man told me this years ago, long time ago. He said one of Harbaugh's best traits is self-preservation. And that always stuck with me. It always stuck with me. And I always remember that, because I'm like, hold up, man. That man is really good at that, because when everything is at its worst, when things are looking like, oh boy, it's about to be a wrap, they're about to tear this thing down, Harbaugh will bring out his best and his smartest. So he saw, all right, we ain't got no Lamar Jackson this game. We got Derrick Henry. And it's like the previous week, that's what the previous week against the Patriots, when Derrick Henry was going off, he was averaging 7.1 yards a carry. This man was going crazy on the Patriots, and they just stopped him. They just took him completely out the game. And what made that even more egregious is that Lamar Jackson, he ain't even playing the second half. So you should have been continuing to rely on Derrick Henry. So that was like, I don't know why they did that. But anyway, it's like in the Packers game, they did exactly what they needed to do. And we wish we would have seen that at times throughout the regular season, the past two seasons, this season and last season. Because what's crazy about Derrick Henry is that this year he got like over 1,500 yards, like 15, 16 touchdowns. Last year he had over 1,900 yards, had 18 touchdowns. And you see these crazy numbers that he puts up, and you could get fooled. You could think, oh man, yeah, Ravens been using him, right? No, they haven't. They leave a lot of Derrick Henry stuff still out there on the field where they could have used him even more. And what's been crazy about with him, we figured, all right, the Baltimore Ravens, they know how to get to the playoffs. They know how to win the games in the regular season, but they just need help getting over the hump, and they need help closing it out. They need help finishing the job. Boom, they got Derrick Henry. Oh, perfect person to bring in to help close out these games that they've been losing, but they haven't been letting him be a closer. So that's why when we see him be a closer against the Packers, it's like, where has this been for the past 2 years, consistently for the past 2 years? And that's what's so frustrating. But again, Harbaugh, a lot of eyes was on him. He said, hold up, a lot of eyes on me. I got y'all. Watch this. And that man just went crazy with 36 carries too. Like, what? 36 carries?
Career high for Derrick Henry. Career high.
That's crazy, man. So again, Harbaugh, he's very, very good at getting the eyes off of him and pointing them somewhere else. Because again, now the topic of conversation this week has obviously been, oh, Lamar, he's probably gonna be done in Baltimore. Get rid of Lamar. Keep Tyler Huntley. I've been seeing people even, people even say, oh, the Ravens, they should trade Lamar, get like 3 first-round picks, and bring in Malik Willis. I said, oh man, we back.
We got a comment on that too. They said it wasn't for first-round picks, so it was bring in Malik Willis and trade Lamar for Myles Garrett.
Oh, I didn't see that one yet.
I just said to myself, I'm like, you want to give one of the best players in the history of football to a division rival and take and granted, Myles Garrett, first ballot Hall of Famer, but he ain't taking them to the playoffs. What are you gonna do with them?
Right, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. It's a lot of crazy talk going out there right now. But again, that the deflection, like with the hit pieces earlier with Todd Monken, that it was good timing because there were a lot of eyes on Harbaugh. Like even from the beginning of the season, like this season has been different because obviously a lot of Ravens fans have had their eyes on Harbaugh for a long time. Saying, hey, the Ravens need to move on. But this season, especially even after that week 1 game, a lot of people are like, hey, he need to get out of here. Maybe he ain't this hot coach that a lot of people thought he was. And then that has continued throughout this season. But a lot of it has shifted over the past 2 weeks to Lamar Jackson. Since he's been hurt, and since Derrick Henry went off, now people are having all of that crazy talk.
Yeah.
It's crazy to me that fans will just go along with it as well, right? I know that there's a contingent of Baltimore fans who have never been on Lamar's side. They just never wanted Lamar to begin with. But I remember this same thing used to happen with Cam Newton in Carolina. And people would be like, oh, he can't read defenses, and he's just a running quarterback, blah blah blah. He's not very accurate, blah, 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 all this stuff. And my response to it, because I watched him play, and obviously he was a very talented player. Then 2015 comes along, he wins MVP and all that, and I'm like, okay, well, if you're saying he can't do these things, he can't play from the pocket, he can't read defenses, etc. I just watched him tear up this league, win MVP, and win 15 games to get to the Super Bowl. So the conclusion is either he can do those things, or he doesn't need to. So it doesn't matter. And it's the same thing with Lamar Jackson. Like you talk about he playing video games. All right. Well, he's won MVP a couple of times. He's dragged you to the playoffs every year. So either he's doing the things he needs to do while he's playing these video games, or he's not doing those things and he doesn't need to. He's that good. Right. But a lot of fans are like, whoa, he's like Kyler Murray with the Call of Duty. Get him out of here. It doesn't make any sense. It makes absolutely no sense at all. But
I hate that whole narrative. I hate that. And I hate that, a so-called journalist, I don't even like calling him a journalist, he's a columnist, can put that out there and not substantiate that any shape, form, or fashion other than well, I have sources. I mean, that's ridiculous. But I mean, he's been doing that grift for 30 plus years,
See the part with that article, we've seen plenty of articles over the years. Even last contract time with Lamar Jackson, we saw a lot of articles, but with this one specifically, this one has picked up more national steam than ever. Yes. So many of the national media, so Adam Schefter talking about it, Ian Rappaport, Nick Wright, Shannon Sharp, and Ocho Cinco on Nightcat. And there's been so many more national media people have been talking about it. So it's like it does seem very intentional, and it seemed like it's getting the job done that they wanted it to get done, and that's the biggest unfortunate part about it, in my opinion.
Well, we talk about this on the show. The media loves talking about Lamar Jackson. In the sports media, it is a Lamar Jackson market, right? Mm-hmm. They know those type of things are going to get them clicks, right? As bad as they want, as bad as Lamar is in their eyes, if you talk about Pat Mahomes, you're not going to get the same amount of clicks. You talk about Josh Allen, you're not going to get the same amount of clicks. These are all great players, but if you start talking about them, that's not going to get any traffic. Lamar Jackson will always get you traffic. So Preston did them a favor, by writing this out, and they're like, okay, this is BS, but we're gonna go with this, and we're gonna play off of this because we'll talk about it. We're gonna click on it. We're gonna read the articles. We're gonna watch the videos. So that's why they do it.
I'm pretty sure I saw a game this past week where a Super Bowl winning quarterback didn't complete a single pass in the second half, and he was going up against a defending MVP quarterback who just straight up missed on a 2-point conversion to a wide open receiver and lost the game. Not a word about either one of them, right? You've got 3 games this weekend for the division, right? The big time games. Carolina and Tampa, Baltimore, Pittsburgh, and then the Seattle, San Francisco's for the division and the 1 seed.
Yes.
Why is Baltimore the Sunday night game instead of Seattle and San Francisco? Right? It's because people tune in to watch Lamar Jackson and people tune in to hate Lamar Jackson. Nobody wants to see Aaron Rodgers' old ass on Sunday night. You tune in for Lamar. Yeah. You're going to see if Lamar can get it done, or you want to get some more ammunition to hop on Twitter and talk about how Lamar can't get it done.
That's real right there.
So getting to Sunday's game, how do you see it going? Like, how do you feel about this game? You feeling confident?
I'm worried because the Ravens, they have it. They when you look, especially you look at that Packers game, you think about Derrick Henry, you think about this Ravens team, they should have it. They should be A-OK. You look at the last Ravens Pittsburgh game. That game should give you even more confidence that the Ravens can beat Pittsburgh, because with that game, There were 3 very egregious calls in that one. Obviously, the whole Isaiah Likely touchdown, no touchdown. There was also the Teddy Buchanan where he picked the ball off, but then they ruled Aaron Rodgers that he had control of it, even though he didn't. And then there was a special teams play where it was on a field goal, and they said Travis Jones made incidental contact with the snapper. But then the NFL told John Harbaugh afterwards, "Oh, sorry, we got it wrong." And that field goal that changed 3 points to 7 points. But I'm just worried about the Ravens doing Ravens type of stuff. A lot of times before, I used to feel like, all right, Lamar in a regular season, he obviously be doing this thing, always in MVP conversations. But then I feel like in the playoffs, I'm like, man, sometimes I feel like he tried to play like prove it ball. Like, all right, he might stop running as much. He might stop taking off as much. And I be feeling like, man, Lamar, you ain't got to prove nothing. Just win. That's it. Just do your thing and win. However you win. Because can't nobody take that away from you. But now I just feel like the Ravens almost like they try to play prove it ball sometimes with Lamar when he's the quarterback to prove, hey, we ain't got to run it through Derrick Henry. We ain't got to use him. We got all these other guys too. And you do, but at the same time, it's like you could simplify stuff. Make it easy for you. Make it easy for yourself. Make it easy for everybody. And the Ravens just a lot of times they make stuff overly complicated when they do not have to. Last week's game against the Packers, it's like that was an anomaly because simple game. Hey, hand it off to Derrick Henry. Like you got all these people. Again, I got a lot of love for Tyler Huntley. Super, super cool, super nice guy too.
Yeah.
We had the privilege of meeting him just last year at the Lamar Day. He was super, super, super nice, super nice. But a lot of people have been praising Tyler Huntley this week. Oh man, Tyler Huntley. Oh yeah, he needs to start even if Lamar's back. Roll with Tyler Huntley. Tyler Huntley threw 107 yards in that game. 107 yards. Like Derrick Henry ran for twice that amount. Tyler Huntley's biggest job in that game was dropping back, turning around, and handing the ball off to Derrick Henry. That was the most important thing he had to do. And again, he was efficient, but 107 yards. Now he did throw a touchdown too, and that was a close one because Zay Flowers, he did make 3 football moves, but then he dropped it at the end. I said, here we go, but that touchdown. But so Tyler Huntley was just asked to be a game manager. It's funny you bring up Cam Newton, and that reminds me of the conversation that he got a lot of people riled up with a couple years ago when it became to game manager versus what was a game changer. I think it was game changer.
Yep.
So that's the difference with Tyler Huntley and Lamar Jackson, right? Tyler Huntley is a good game manager. He manages. It's like, hey, just don't lose it. Don't lose it for us. Just hand it off, make the completions or whatnot. Don't lose it. But Lamar is obviously a game changer. So with this Steelers game, I'm just hoping that the Ravens don't get in their own way because they have had no excuses, but they have no excuses in this game. Like Aaron Rodgers, he can still do his thing every now and then, but they ain't got no DK Metcalf. DK Metcalf was destroying the Ravens the last time that they played the Steelers. And you really better thank that fan, even though that fan was in the wrong, and they said that fan got a history with DK Metcalf. That fan just may save the Ravens season. We'll see. But that fan also may save Harbaugh. Maybe Harbaugh can send him a little cash app or something like that. He said, hey, go mess with DK. Get him, please, because we need you. But the Ravens, they should win. But I'm not all the way calm. I'm still worried because they just be doing a lot of Raven stuff.
See that worry that you have, that's that Harbaugh factor, right? it's that Harbaugh factor. Only reason I'm not worried about it is because we shouldn't even be here. Like we're playing with house money if we're being honest about it, right? We won a game against the Packers, and I felt good. Like okay, but I picked the Browns just for being a fan. I picked the Browns to win the game. But they should not have won that game. But they did they did it, and we're here, and we have another shot at it. And like you said, no DK Metcalf, no Calvin Austin. Who's that big boy tight end that broke his arm? Darnell Washington. Yeah, well, Calvin Austin, I think is questionable. He's not. I don't think he's 100% ruled out.
And then maybe TJ Watt might be out too. That's another one. Watt, and if he does play, he ain't gonna be 100.
Exactly. So everybody that could hurt us could be out of this game.
It's right? Crazy, man.
So if we lose this game, that's not the team I want to see in the playoffs anyway, right? So I'm good either way. I'm good either way. If we can't beat Adam Thielen and Valdez Scantling, then I don't want to see this team in the playoffs anyway. All right, put us out of our misery.
And I know a lot of people are thinking that this game could possibly maybe be to where the winner obviously goes to the playoffs. They get the home playoff game, and the loser fires their coach. But I don't know, man. I'm just, even if the Ravens lose, I'm not that confident, man, in them pulling that trigger. I'm really not, man. I think that they should, but I'm just not confident that they will.
I'm not confident they're going to move on from John Harbaugh either, but I want to ask both of you if that was on the line.
Mm-hmm.
If you say, hey, you win, you go to the playoffs, you lose, you fire your coach, what do you want to happen on Sunday?
Me, I always, and I know it sounds dumb, but I always want the Ravens to win. I always want to see them in the playoffs. So I would still want them in the play, and I know it's twisted thinking because I want it all. Like, I want the Ravens in the playoffs. I obviously want them to win the Super Bowl, but I still want them to move on from John Harbaugh. And I know if they did win a Super Bowl, John Harbaugh would have even more immunity than he already got, because he got a lot of immunity right now. But I want it all, man. So I still do want them in as twisted. And I know, like, again, if they didn't make it, it would be a higher possibility. But again, I still don't think it's a sure thing that they will move on. But yeah, I would still want them in the playoffs.
No, I'm the same way. Oh, no, let B come back. There you go. No, I'm the same way. I want to win, and I want them to move on from Harbaugh, right? If we got all the way to the Super Bowl, won the Super Bowl, I know they wouldn't fire him, but I would hope that Harbaugh would step down, right? Like that would be my hope, because if you look at Harbaugh throughout this season, the way he answers those questions about his job security, they're different than before.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
he's not as smug about those questions anymore. He's a little bit more thoughtful with his answers, and I feel like this season has kind of beat up on him a little bit. And even though they've tried to cover for him with throwing Tom Munker under the bus, and all these other reports and the kind of putting blame elsewhere, there's still been, even with all the Lamar Jackson hate out there and the reports and everything, there's still been a good amount of coverage on John Harbaugh, a good amount of criticism, not just from local media, from national media too. I know Tony Dungy and Ronnie Harrison especially, always calls out Harbaugh for his mishaps in these games. So there's a lot of that talk, and I think it's starting to seep in with him, and maybe win or lose, he might be thinking it's time for a fresh start, because Lamar's not going anywhere, right? Yeah, I don't think he's going anywhere. He has to ask for a trade. He has a no trade clause, so it's not like they can just get rid of him. And if Lamar says, "No, I'm staying," right? Then I'm staying. He can go. What are you gonna do? Like, it's easy to get rid of your coach and your quarterback. So I think this offseason, if Lamar wants to change, the change can happen.
That's powerful right there.
Don's been getting downright philosophical when they ask him those questions now. He's like, what does even having a job mean? No one's promised.
Yeah, he did.
Like, all right, John.
All right, man. I really want to let you out of here, man. Appreciate your time, man. Appreciate you coming on. Before you get out of here, man, plug your stuff. Let people know where they can find you. Let people know what you got going on.
I appreciate y'all having me on, man. This was fun as always, man. You can find us on our YouTube channel. It's Ingraven Vids, YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, all that stuff. It's all Ingraven Vids. So I appreciate y'all, man. Keep doing what y'all been doing, man.
Absolutely. And that's why I say this before you get out of here, man. Like, you and Sonny were two of the first people to shout us out and really show us some love when we started our YouTube journey. I remember before we even got on YouTube, we were just doing an audio podcast. I reached out to Sonny, and Sonny gave us the whole game. Here's what you need to do. Here's the equipment you need to get.
Yeah.
He read our articles. We used to write articles. He read our articles on his channel, and I remember you first. Yeah, Sonny's awesome. Shout out to Sonny, man. And I remember you reached out to us to invite us on to your show. You're doing the roundtable, right? It was everybody was on there. Coaches on there, Sutton, like, you know, we had like 25 subscribers at the time. And I remember after doing that roundtable, we went up to like 45. And I thought we made it. I was like, 5 more, we got 50. We there, you know, like. But that meant the world to us, man. Because like, you know, where you were, and I mean, and you're like twice the size now. I mean, and congratulations to you for blowing up. You're almost at 100K. But for you to be locked into the Ravens community like that, the Ravens YouTube community, and see who's out there, and just say, hey, you know, let me give this person a chance. That means a lot. We really appreciate that.
No, for sure, man. It ain't nothing, man. And I just feel like one of the biggest things that always stuck with me is when I used to do Madden videos. When I used to do Madden videos, because I did that before the Ravens videos. I had like maybe like 15, 20,000 subscribers at a time. And I had reached out to this one guy because we followed each other on Twitter. I reached out to him. I said, hey, we should do a video collab sometime. And he was like, well, maybe when I hit 100K, because he had 80,000 subscribers at the time, I think. And he was like, oh, when I hit 100K, then then I want to start like really giving back to the community and stuff. I'm like, really? You gave me this garbage answer, man. Like, again, I'm not owed anything. I'm not owed to have to come on your show, but you could be straight up with me. So I just, that had always stuck with me. Like, it just felt like he was like kind of like on his high horse. Oh man, since I ain't have no big channel, then I couldn't come on with him. But he still, and he just gave me that garbage excuse. But I just don't like when people, make it like they better or bigger than somebody else, because they not. We all on the same level. Ain't nobody bigger than the next. Ain't nobody better than the next. The subscriber count, that don't mean nothing, man. If people, if you can get somebody opportunity to come on your platform and do their thing, do it. Go for it. And I know we all just need a little boost sometimes too, man. We all do. That opportunity is real, because you never know who's watching, and you never know who, like, because there could be somebody who did watch my channel. Maybe they don't watch it no more, and maybe they could be like, you know what, Raven Viz, that channel was all right, but I really mess with Lunch Break Hot Take like that. Them boys, Jose and Brodny, oh yeah, I mess with them heavy. I love their style. So you never know, and that's not a bad thing. Yeah, so it's just that's how I look at it, man. Just everybody deserves an opportunity, man. So I appreciate y'all, man.
Hey, we appreciate you. All right, with that, man, we're gonna let you get out of here, man. Thanks for everything, man, and we'll do this again.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. I appreciate y'all, man. Thank you.
All right.